Hey going everyone, it's Adrenaline7 here, and what I've decided to do here, since we've finished pretty much most, if not all, of the bosses for the main game, except for the last one, I've decided I'm going to showcase a bit of the DLCs. So as we can see here, we've gone to the Cleansing Chapel, which is not far, which is in the Cathedral of the Deep area, and here we've met a character called... oh god, look at that butt. we've met Slave Knight Gale here. And what we're doing is we're actually going to be introduced to the actual world of Ariandel.
Just a moment then. The painting of Ariandel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, rotted scrap of it, that is.
Yeah, the things being rotten and fire is a bit of a symbolization for this particular, like a bit of a theme for this particular DLC. You'll see it's a common thing that's continuously being referred to and that sort of stuff. And whoa, getting sucked in there. That's all fine. As you can tell, I'm doing a voiceover for this because when I originally recorded this video, my microphone and setup was, it stuffed up on me, unfortunately. It's been happening a lot lately, and I can't explain why. I don't know whether it's because USB ports are shutting down or disconnecting or something like that. I don't know whether it's a fault in the microphone, which I doubt. But yeah, it's becoming very common. It's happened a lot of times. It's happened pretty much almost every time I've recorded over the last probably couple of weeks. But yeah, so now we're going to be entering the painted world of Ariandel. So yeah, so we speak to this guy. He doesn't give us anything. He just says, "Ah, here, you're home now." Oh, sorry, you gotta excuse me. You're yawning a bit. It's quite late at night when I'm doing this recording. It's the only chance I'm getting. So here, we're going through, and we're opening up into the world here. So, try and light the bonfire, that's all cool. And for some reason, I can't actually rest. It won't let me rest, and I don't know why. So, keep going back. Yeah, it's just not working. So, I think what I've tried to decide from there is going out into the world and trying to defeat some enemies and go from there. So, the thing about the Ashes of Ariandel DLC, it's, oh, that's why, invaded by Dark Spirit. That explained everything. The problem with this DLC that I found was that it's just not that fun. It's not very fun. By that I mean, like, there's so many ganks. It's just gank central in this one. Like, enemies just swarm around you, and because, as you can see, there's an enemy up top there. He's going to jump down in a moment. And there's another enemy who's got a shield and a javelin as well. So, but luckily enough, like the last time I played this DLC, or the first and last time I played this DLC, was during, I was in New Game Plus, so these enemies were actually a lot harder. Excuse me. So here we are, we're just, just looking at all the other players who want to be summoned for whatever, cooperation, good on them. But no, I wanted to try and go through this by myself. So a few other enemies, there's already 5 enemies just in this one area on the right hand side of the bonfire. It's just, yeah, you can't go anywhere without just getting swamped by someone, so it's... And there we go, that's another, apparently that weapon was supposed to be really good, the Follower Saber. I haven't actually used it, but I know a lot of people tend to use it in PvP, or they have used it in PvP anyway. So we're going up, we're going over the hill, we've got a few more people to fight. There's a javelin, they're getting thrown, backstab, and unfortunately the backstabs just don't do quite enough damage for me. And because of the sword I'm using, I can't upscale it anymore. Oh, so I just cannot stop yawning. I was just really tired. I mean, it's, at the moment it's like almost 11:40 at night. Oh, that's right. The, walking over to that particular area, you fall down. And so this is the part I hate the most of this DLC. I do not like this part. Humans I can deal with, but unfortunately there's a whole bunch of wolves. And if you don't take care of them quickly enough, they all howl. and they just swamp you. And behind me, I'd never realized it at the time, but it's actually the NPC, or not the NPC, yeah, that guy. I had no idea that he was around. So I'm just trying to escape. Well, basically, I'm just trying to get through this as quick as I can. There's a bonfire. There's actually a hole in this mound, which I try and go down. Roll out of the way, because I know for a fact, there he goes. And this is where the fight commences between me and this guy. So this is the PvP. This is the, yep, so signaling to say yep. So he's got the Yorm's machete. And we're just going at it one-on-one. Yeah. And one thing that was scaring me during this particular fight was I could still hear the wolves around. So I'm like, what's going on? And unfortunately, the wolves decide that they want to attack with this NPC. Sorry, with the invader. But luckily enough, this invader did the honourable thing and let me face these wolves by myself and let me take care of them. And I really did appreciate that, so I gave him a good honourable duel. So once I take care of these guys, okay, take some Estus, and I think I do a weapon change here. Yeah, that's right. There we go. Yep. So this is a So there we go. The honourable PvP fight, and you know this guy's not too bad. He kind of relies on the same techniques and attacks the whole time, but then again, I can't really say much because that's pretty much what I do as well. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to take into account the lag. There's a little bit of lag going on as well, so I'm trying to preempt stuff. As you can see there, like I did a really good job with that sort of thing. And fortunately, because of the lag, he was able to heal as well. But yeah, at the time, I'm actually going pretty nuts on him. But I think he kind of gets me every now and then because I'm not expecting him to. And, you know, when I play PvP, I like to give the chance to people to heal, because I like my PvPs. I like them to be long. I like them to be drawn out. I don't know how he got me there. I was trying to get past him, but that's just the way it works. Yeah, I like my PvPs to be a good, long duel. Well, invasions anyway, where you can actually use health. I'd like them to try and use health. To say, you know, I'm giving you the chance to heal up so we can continue this battle. Most of the time they don't do that for me, but I'm particularly fine with that. That's just the way I like to do it. I like to give him a bit of a chance. So I think I was trying to do a weapon swap at the time, but I was like, nah, this guy's going to attack me any moment. So I thought, you know what? Probably not. Oh, yeah, I did some stupid moves. And I think there, when I was playing at the time, good job, mate. When I was playing at the time, I, with my death, I didn't think he would hit me because I didn't think he was going to be that... I didn't see he was that close. I thought he was too far away to actually hit me. But no, the particular surrounding area and the hitboxes in this, they do actually make it a bit harder. You can't really... it's hard to judge this way. So what I've decided to do here... Okay. So... we're going to rest at that bonfire just so I don't have to keep going to that start as well. Do I fight these guys or do I just end up running past them? I can't remember. I just run past them. So then we go down here again. On the left-hand side, before you fall... oh, that's right. These guys can still attack you. I remember getting really annoyed by that, and I think they're going to throw another one. Nope. So this time I'm just bypassing the wolves altogether, and I know for a fact. And then we have these trees. These trees are nuts. Some of these trees actually come alive, and they can actually grab you. They can throw fire at you, or they can give you they can snap freeze you. Either way, they both hurt really badly if you get caught in it full force. Luckily, they're susceptible to fire, so pyromancers and fire swords and chaos swords and stuff like that do really well. You know, fire attacks do really well. And there we go, finally lit that bonfire. And yeah, I was able to rest there. So that was a benefit. So there is a hell of a lot of things I've bypassed in this. Instead of turning left when you fall off the cliff, when you go down that cliff, if you just go straight, you get swamped by wolves. and there's a big wolf that actually comes down and attacks you. I totally bypassed that in this video because I just wanted to get through this as quick as I can, because like I said, I don't really enjoy this very much. I don't enjoy this DLC much. There's a few things in this that I would be, you know what, we could definitely change that. And then we speak to this guy. We spoke to him very fast. And in here we actually meet Sister Frida, who is kind of, she's like the second head of the level. She's like the second main person in the level. Not the bosses of the bosses, but she is a boss.
Welcome. I
was gonna say, if you're looking for spoilers, yeah, there's spoilers there. But yeah, she just basically talks, just says, oh, why are you here? Go back. We don't want you here. So there we go. I've decided to go to different areas now. So I've done that deal. I've done that part there. Those guys are praying. They're fine. They're not of any harm to anyone. So as we go across, there's a few items that I was wanting to pick up, and unfortunately I don't think I'm able to grab all of them because I went to the wrong place. One of the items, you actually have to go through the main area with a whole bunch of what we call millwood knights, which are huge knights with like antler horns and stuff like that, and they've got huge weapons and everything like that. They're a pain in the butt to kill. We might be seeing a couple of them later on, but probably not in this video. This video, I just basically want to get to a particular area. Oh, and you get these bugs. Oh, these bugs are nuts. Easy, but they're just annoying. They do a couple of attacks that can really mess you up. But they're pretty susceptible to fire as well, so I'm happy with that. So I thought that was a Titanite slab, but when I found out it was a shriving stone, I'm like, what? Why isn't it the right item? But turns out it was just, yeah, it turns out I'm not actually in the right place for it. So I think my goal from here was to get to the town, get to the settlement, but I wanted to make sure, so I didn't have to keep crossing the bridge. I was going to go to the previous bonfire, the one inside the cave, and go from there. So yeah, I was trying to look for where we could go down to get the Titanite slab, but yeah, like I said, I didn't realise it was actually over the other side, and I wasn't going to bother with that. So if you go down to the left here, there's actually a ladder, and that leads to the next area. I'm just thinking, if you try and slide down the ladder like that, you've got all those rungs, right? And those, like, if you slide down like that, those rungs actually protrude. The ones going across, they actually stick out. So how can you be sliding down when you've got all these protruding ones? Doesn't really work that way. And here, I know for a fact there's an ambush. Because you see one of these, you see about 5 of them. So what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to get this guy to come out. Because he's going to be using these fire-breathing attacks now. They're pretty cool. But I don't think they're very effective, though. At least, if they're not effective, if you don't get caught in it. And then there's this guy. He's got the sword, so of course he's going to be a hassle. But luckily enough, I've upgraded my weapons so much, and I've upgraded my level so much that on new game, just on normal new game, they're very easy to eliminate. Well, they're very easy to kill. So 3 hits with a full fire sword, and you're pretty good. Yeah, look at me. I'm like Shaun White. There we go. I have to admit that, like, this place does look really, really nice, and just the mix, having the mixture of like ice, fire, and rot, like rotten stuff. It really does give a bit of a bleak atmosphere, but at the same time, I can see why they call it somewhat comforting, but it doesn't seem so comforting when you finally look at some of these enemies. Though they're a bit nuts. And if you go towards up here, there is actually an item at the end. I can't remember what it is. I don't know whether it's arrows or something like that, but you basically make your way down. Are you going down? Yes, I am going down. There we go. And we go down again. I must have been scared of something. Oh, that's right. You've got a whole bunch of these bird enemies that they're like featherless birds that, look like they've been stripped of all their feathers. It's like bird roadkill. Or birds that have, like, fallen out of a tree or fallen off the power line and died and stuff like that, and then you just see them decompose for a while. That's kind of how they look like. But down here is actually where you have about 100 of them. But, you know, even though there's a million of them around here, they're actually very simple to eliminate. Like I said, a lot of them are just 1 or 2 hits. The only thing is with these particular enemies is that if you get surrounded by them, then and of course one of these, what does he do? Oh, he spits, that's right. And then I think he tries to jump up and, oh, that's right, I got swamped there by him. Obviously they're usually pretty easy enemies anyway. We saw them in the Ariandel Valley, or Boreal Valley, Ariandel, whatever it's called, I can't remember. But yeah, just basically eliminating these birds. Now these birds, if they gang up on you and they get you cornered, they can do damage when they peck you consistently. But, and they can, like, give you, is it poison or toxic? I can't remember. But whatever it is, it's nothing substantial. Only if they only swarm you in great numbers. And even then, they're really not, they're not that hassle. You can eliminate so many of them at one time. And there are a couple of items around here as well, but you have to go through a couple of hoops to get them and stuff. Ah, well. So yeah, just looking for extra enemies and stuff like that, just to make sure, or items, because there's always some hidden ones around some buildings. Well, generally there is anyway. So we're going through. Grab some stuff along the way. Is it more dung pies? Yep. Was there anything else around here? I can't remember. Anyway, so we go through. I think we're done here. We can move on, buddy. So we go through here, and we're just making sure that. Oh, God, that scared the crap out of me. I remember that. I do remember that part there. Now there is a tough enemy coming up ahead. Very annoying. So what I end up doing, obviously, switch to your best weapon. I decided to keep the fire sword, I think. What am I doing? I take a long time to prepare for stuff. I think I was just debating whether or not to use an ultra great sword, or whether to use a straight sword. Because, you know, some of these birds, yes, they are susceptible to fire, but I think they're also susceptible to lightning. But I think I decided to use this because I can get, you know, maximum AR out of it, well, almost maximum AR out of this. I screwed things up by making it refined and not keeping it as lightning. Oh well, but in any case, my AR is pretty huge. It's, you know, possibly 688 in some cases. So yeah, these massive crows, they're just nuts. They go nuts on you. But luckily enough, I didn't give him any reprieve from my onslaught. Got him out of the way, and he's down for the count, and he's out. And then these guys, obviously, just hit with one hit, and they're gone. And that's fine. Large soul of an unknown traveler. Okay, so there was an extra bonfire coming up here, so that means that, yeah, so this bonfire is much more beneficial, so I don't have to go through all that stupid stuff again. So you collect some items along the way, and there's actually an NPC here who you can chat to. There he is. I don't know his name. But basically what this guy wants, he wants you to basically beat the boss so that he can have fire, because he's sick of the rot in the world. He's sick of the rotten world. So he just likes, we need to start new, and the only way to start anew is to burn away all the rot to get fire going. So that's basically our task. And we're not doing it for him, we're doing it for ourselves, and we're doing it for other characters as well, who we will meet later on. But at the time, we're just, yeah, I mean, look at that rot there, look at that stuff. You know, you look closely at it and it looks really, really disgusting, like, you know, like insect eggs and whatnot. It's almost as weird as shark eggs. Have you seen those things? They're friggin' weird as. Anyway, excuse me. So we've lit this bonfire here, and this is basically, yeah, what we do for the video. So from here onwards, we go through the rest of the town, we pick up certain stuff, face some certain enemies, and then we make it to the next bonfire so we can go through another point. So guys, Thanks very much, and we'll see you next time. Oh, look, there we go, counting out. So long.